Hey everyone, it's Libby from Maighstirtarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Worimi First Nations people. It's WORIMI, and welcome to you, your guides, my guides, and the universal energies. First of all, I just want to say thank you for all your beautiful messages. I have read all of them except for those that have come in overnight. I haven't had a chance to have a look at those yet, so appreciative. Yeah, spotty. There's a spotty sized, actually it's bigger than a spotty size hole in the house at the moment. It's very quiet. And I mean, what can you say? He was absolutely ready. We got, 10, 11 months longer than we thought we would have with him. And he lived every inch, because when he was diagnosed with cancer just over 12 months ago, they said 6 weeks to 12 months, 12 months maximum, and he lived every inch of those 12 months. He was so ready to go when the time came. I actually was up with him pretty much the whole night before. The vet came on Thursday, expecting him to pass that night. He kept going, taking himself out the dog door outside, and going and lying in the freezing cold in the long grass down the bottom of the yard. So I kept bringing him back in, because there's no way I'm going to let him pass in the cold by himself at night time. So I kept bringing him back in, and he kept taking himself back out again. About 4 or 5 times over the night. So he was absolutely ready to go. He actually passed in the office here. It was his safe space. And when the vet had given him the sedative, he was in the office. He left the office and said, no, that's my safe space, and came back in again. So do not be surprised if you hear the scritchy of the footprints down the hallway at some stage. Just know that Sneaks, who was his bestest buddy, the cat Sneaks, had passed 12 months earlier. Actually, I looked it up today. On the 6th of August, she actually passed last year. And she had been around for about 2 or 3 days beforehand, before Spot passed, just waiting for him. At night time, I could feel this footprints across the bed, and then a snuggle in, and I went, oh, there's Nix. That's our new cat, for those that know me. Our new kitten. Oh, there's Nix. And I put my hand out, and there was nothing there. So Sneaks was here ready to take Spot with her. Okay, and I just wanted to show you a lot of, it doesn't fit on the shelf, I did try, but a lot of you know this artwork from my days in the boudoir. This is artwork that my daughter drew for me, gosh, about 4 years ago now, for a Christmas present for the three. So we've got Spot, Sneaks, and Bindi. Bindi's still around. She's in the hallway at the moment. Just minding her own business. So when was that? 2021. Oh, 5 years ago, December 21. So yeah, never easy, but in the same vein, it would be selfish of us to try and hang on for longer beyond when they're ready. Okay, what do I want to have a look at today? There is a lot to cover. Lots been happening over the last couple of weekends, not the least of which, and there's a few things I'm going to mention, but I'm not going to read on. I've got the crossing from Morocco into Spain by the mass migrants. Now, you've got to remember, this is actually a peninsula on the northern point of Morocco, so it's not actually across the Mediterranean into mainland Spain. It's a territory that's joined with Morocco, and there was a mass swarming as a scare campaign. Now, when I was watching it on the news when it first happened, and they interviewed a few of the immigrants, there was a real arrogance about them. I noticed they were I didn't see any women there, no women and children. It was all young men. And there was an arrogance about the fact that they had breached the fencing to get into this enclave that is part of Spain. I got very clearly, as I was watching that, my guide said they got paid to do that en masse. and the majority of them have already left and gone back to Morocco. Um, I just got that they were paid to do it, to create fear and anxiety and stir things up. So just be aware of that. What else has happened? Oh, yes, in camera. I do apologise for one of the last readings I did last week for Judge Sullivan. In camera means in secret, in his, quietly in his own chambers for his eyes only. So thank you for everybody who let me know that. Got to learn a day without learning is a day wasted. So I learned something new. My Latin in on camera, en camera. Um, I believe Blanche has since handed over some documents. My guides were very adamant when I read on that last week that it would be a placating or an attempted placating amount of documents. It wouldn't be the full that have been asked for. So just be aware of that. Some have been handed over, but I'm feeling it's nowhere near enough. So expect Judge Sullivan to make a ruling on that as well. What else do I want to have a look at? Oh, of course, and I put it in my post section, Kushner's brother Joshua behind the fee for sale. Of course he was. So the silent brother that we don't hear anything about. Apparently he has an investment company that invests in startups and things like that. But he also he is, he owns a health insurance company as well that's worth billions of dollars. So just be aware, they're all let me scratch your back and I'll scratch yours, etc. And speaking of back scratching, I am actually going to have a look at this. I want to have a look at so what happened last week that went under the radar while they were attempting to distract with the BS of Dr. Fauci congressional hearing or whatever it was. Please. So Paul Rand basically released 1,000 pages of a private diary, Dr. Fauci's private diary, where pretty much Dr. Fauci showed how incompetent the GOP and the regime the first time around were in regards to C-19. They then hauled him in front of via a subpoena. I mean, this guy has served under 7 presidents, 50 odd years of his life. Top virologist in the world, one of the top. They dragged him in front of pretty much what was a kangaroo court. Pony show. I won't even use the other part of the pony. It was just a pony show. And they were asking him questions to deliberately try to get him to slip up saying something, anything. So he pled the fifth the whole way through. Why not? He has nothing more to say to them. They were just there to try and undermine and attack and force try and get him to trip up to say something that would give them justification to drag him in front of the courts. It was just the biggest load of BS. However, what were they distracting from? There was a lot that happened during the week I want to have a look at. I mean, the footage that came out of the Orange Idiot at Lindsay's funeral, sweating profusely, couldn't get a Tic Tac into his mouth. He did eventually, but the first one, he went to put it in and it fell out of his lips and dropped to the ground. No, it wasn't a puppy pad underneath him. Apparently it was the program, but sitting on the program, yeah, that's not terribly respectful at a funeral either. Notice Melania wasn't there. He was sleeping through a goodly portion of it, and the look of the face on the guy behind him was like, my nose. It's not so much, I'm going to say yes, he is to a point leaking defecation, but what is more happening that I'm getting from, especially with that sweating, with the smell, is that he's literally decaying internally. And when that happens, it sort of oozes out of the pores, the smell of the decay and the rot, etc. And that's the main part of the smell of him. Yes, it is, leakage, but it's more about the smell of decay, especially, as I said, at the funeral, he was sweating profusely. I'm going to have a look at the Camp David. I think they whipped him off to Camp David to get him away, get him out of the limelight. So we'll have a sort of a look at that and shady leasing 500 acres, etc. We'll have a bit of a look at that. But what I want to have a look at is why all the distractions this week, especially with the Dr. Fauci the carry on and the Morocco, Spain swarming and the blah, 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 blah. What I want to have a look, yes, and I am going to have a look also at the Minnesota, and I gather there was about 7 states that were actually hit with the water grid. I will have a look at that because I'm getting a feeling that was a false flag test run. So, but let's have a look. I want to have a look at, and I'm using the Sci-Fi Tarot. This week, oh, sorry, it's taking me 11 minutes to get round to the topic. This way, let me have a sip of my coffee and you can read what it says too. Time to relax and go with the flow. I want to have a look at Fleon. And if you're wondering who Fleon is Space Boy, SpaceX, that dude, that one that, bought Twitter and turned it into a gutter trash and all the rest of it. At great expense that he owes the Saudis for, I might add. I want to have a look. So apparently he got awarded during the week on Tuesday. Oh, now, of course, Taco, we're going to bomb the bejesus out of them on Saturday, and then Sunday it's like, oh, no, we're not, Tacoed again. Okay, so what has happened is apparently on Tuesday, Space Force awarded SpaceX a 1.6 billion with a B dollar contract within 24 hours. Fleon, and I call him Fleon because he's a parasite on the back of the American taxpayer, United States taxpayer. Within 24 hours, Fleon put 120 million with an M, so, good profit, behind an American PAC, to help Republicans hold on to Congress. So let's have a look. I mean, the stories broke within 24 hours. I believe the money from the government contract was July the 29th. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it was 24 hours. Oh, July 29th. That was all of last week. So, yeah, within 24 hours, not only did Fleon get awarded a $1.6 billion contract for his newly launched SpaceX, whatever, whose shares have gone down by 50%. Again, you've got this propping up that's happening, the share price propping up that's happening, because if the share price drops below a certain level, certain people have to pay back their debts. So this was he then put money into the Republican voting pack. Oh, speaking of which, sorry about this, off on another tangent. God, have to change my name to Lena. MTG and Bannon and all those having had a little powwow over the weekend too. And this is very much part of, I've been talking about it for, 18 months now, 2 years. Susan Lynn, I think, has been talking about it for a while as well, plus a few other readers, that the GOP will split into two. You've got the MAGAs and you've got the non-MAGAs. The non-MAGA conservatives, and the Dems will do the same. A lot of us have been seeing for a long time now that the two parties will split into 4, whereas the Dems will be corporate Dems and socially minded Dems. And speaking of socially minded Dems, you've got Mum Dami in New York, who in 6 months has delivered everything that the Dems have been promising for decades and keeps saying it's too hard to do. And he's gone, well, I just did it, so it's not. So yeah, he's showing them up. And speaking of decades, I didn't realise that John Kerry, is it, who was up against George W. in 2004. Apparently there was information that came out that ballot giving was stolen as well. But he didn't challenge it. He pretty much was told to back off and go away, so he did. So really, the Republicans haven't won an election since before Reagan. Okay, but what I want to have a look at is I'm going to have a look at Fleon, and Fleon in the midterms, because I've got the King of Cups here. He's a Cancer, so this is probably, I mean, sometimes he's the King of Pentacles for me as well, but in this particular deck, I'm going to call him the King of Cups. And what does it say on here? Master of his own heart. Does he have one? Because he's not the master of anybody else's. Nobody likes him. They like his money, but nobody likes him as a person. But the King of Cups. Okay, the futuristic. However, the second card is the Death card. Ending of something. Now, this is, you've got these people here going to hop onto this spaceship, possibly to leave the planet, possibly to go up to that little space station up there. But it is about a significant ending of a cycle and a new beginning. So I think Fleon is fast approaching the end. He can see the end. He can see the end of his cycle. And it's almost like and what's on the top? The top is changes in the air. And here it is again. What's this? The Eight of Wands. Things coming forward very quickly. Changes in the air. Okay, so, I've got the Six of Wands, the false victory, and the Fool, the ending, the uncharted waters. So I want to have a look at a little bit closer into, is Fleon going to meddle in the midterm? Sorry, it's taken me 17 minutes to get to this point. Lot happening. Okay. Is Fleon going to meddle in the midterms? I'm learning a lot this last week. I learned a lot about credit scores in the US. I'm like, what? Really? What? What's that credit score thing? Apparently, your insurance goes up if you have a bad credit score. Like, what? Like, and your the electronic tickets in the supermarket that change prices. Oh, none of that would wear in Australia. I'm just putting that out for you. And this is, I'm actually going to have this, there is a message from Spot that he's had me write down, do a reading on that separately. Okay, what have we got? 3 cards fell out and the one on the bottom, fascinating. So these 3 cards fell out. I'm not sure what order they came in. I think they might be this. So my question was, is Fleon going to meddle in the midterms? The 5 of Pentacles. It's about something that's being out in the cold. It's about being banished, being kept out of the voting system, possibly, because Pentacles, when I'm talking about balloting, the ticketing can mean the VO votes themselves. Okay, but this is really interesting. 5 of Pentacles. Lost, alone, and afraid, with more to come. With the sun fully exposing. I have nothing more to say on that. Number 19, beginning, ending. The sun, more to come. And then I've got the Chariot. Now this is my card for the military stepping in, like a soft coup type thing. What does it say there? The unstoppable vessel. Whatever is coming in regards to this November date, lost, alone, and afraid. Absolutely, he is. He knows he said in 2024 that if the Dems won, he was going to jail. Absolutely. He knows. And he's afraid. And he's feeling lost because he doesn't know what to do. He's alone because nobody likes him. And he is afraid. And he knows there is worse to come as more and more gets exposed. This chariot here, the unstoppable vessel, the exposure is moving forward and cannot be stopped. But I'm also drawn to this Three of Swords, loss, heartbreak, despair, betrayal, treason. And then you've got the Star card, being the star link, possibly. So this is stabbing through the heart, star link. And then we've got the Ten of Wands, the overreach, and then I'm going to go the next one as well, the Four of Swords, down for the count. The respite chamber, it says, deeper meditation, ready for combat. But I don't know that if you think of the traditional Rider-Waite deck, it's more like a death card than the death card itself. Deep in meditation, ready for combat. I do wonder, we haven't heard a lot from him lately. As he's preparing to, because you've then got the Page of Pentacles. Welcome to the future, but spinning the vote. Very blue card though, but attempting, okay, thank you, attempting to spin the vote. The overwhelming mass of blue, trying to spin it to red. And then you've got the moon, the secrets being revealed. And then the Ace of Pentacles. Big information coming forward, new beginning, but also fool's gold. The Ace of Pentacles, but the moon, secrets being revealed, what lurks beneath the surface being revealed. So this is attempting to spin. So I think he's back on board. He's going to attempt the same old tricks. I don't think he's going to succeed. Three of Swords and the Star and the Ten of Wands. This might be if I say an unplugging, is what my guides are telling me. But I know, with Wi-Fi and all the rest of it, it doesn't need to actually come down a line. But I'm getting an unplugging here of something to do with Starlink that will reveal the overreach. And the wands also coming to earth. Coming to earth, yeah. I'm just going to say it. Yes, absolutely. They're planning a rinse and repeat, but I think it's going to not going to succeed. Six of Cups, wanting to go back to what it's almost like with this demon here in this vial, V-I-A-I-L, I-A-L. I can never get those around the right way. Trapped. It's like he's wanting to use the devilish that he did last time, but it's not going to work. The Seven of Wands, the Steel card, Seven of Wands on the back foot, having to defend himself. Ten of Cups, the ending of the happy families. Yeah, I'm getting he's going to try the same ploy as last time. So what I might have a look at, I might do this as a bit of a combo, because what I got, let's see if I can find the Where was that? Michigan and Minnesota, and I believe there were issues in California around the water and wastewater sectors. Cyber security and infrastructure security agents claim there was a Persian hacker, I don't think it was Persia, and that they were going to target the water and wastewater systems. She wouldn't bother. Just putting it out there, they would not bother attacking those systems. They were going to attack systems, they would attack the banking systems, the electricity systems. I'm getting the Pentagon, they would hack into the Pentagon. I'm not getting that they would be bothered. I'm feeling it was a trial run for a false flag. So let's have a look. This attack, the Minnesota, Michigan, California, and there must be 4 other states, they haven't been named as of yet, who had issues with their water and wastewater grids. Now this is just a bit of a warning for you guys to just keep some fresh water, don't panic. Tap water is usually fine, so don't panic buy at the supermarket, and just get yourself some big, even if you go down the supermarket and get yourself a couple of big bottles of water, you know, what is it, the 10-litre ones or something, and just keep those continually turning over. Use them, top them up, use them, top them up, so that you've got at least a couple of days supply for drinking, even if you can't do anything else. Even if you can't flush the loo and have a shower and brush your teeth, at least you'll have drinking water. So, yeah, I just wouldn't be a bad idea. I mean, it's something they do in New Zealand as standard for the earthquake. Part of their earthquake kits is a big 10-litre or 4-litre or a couple of 4 litres of drinking water per person, I might add. They keep in their safe space along with the first aid kit and a battery, a torch with extra batteries and things like that. Okay, so let's have a look. The grid down. Was this, still using the sci-fi, was this a test run false flag event? Was this a test run false flag event? Come on down, let's have a look. The Empress, the mother of invention. Aside from being a yes card, it is the Russian card as well. The beauty contest, a stimulating science adventure. I'm getting the feel anything to do with science, just be aware. And when I'm talking about science, I'm talking about electricity grids, water grids, Wi-Fi, those sorts of things. Just be aware that what we take for granted, because what I'm really drawn to is in the background, you've got the first X-ray, the first sewing machine, the Morse code, pretty much the first car, the first light bulb, all these new inventions that we just simply take for granted. I mean, I've got what, 1, 2, 3 lights on, ring light, lamp, salt crystal, and then I've got batteries in my little fairy lights, etc. I'm talking to you via the Wi-Fi on a laptop computer. Just be aware. And the first aeroplane, first biro. I think that's a cash register there. But yeah, just remember there was a time before all these items were invented, and I'm really feeling that. Oh, there's a camera there as well. That we'll have to draw on our pre-invention knowledge. So just be aware. Let your circle know without scaring them. Just sort of ask them, oh, do you have, would you like me to get, have you thought about, put it onto the onus onto them, but just be aware with the Empress here. Okay, the challenge we've got is the Two of Pentacles. Juggling something, something's being juggled, trapped between two realities. Can she keep her balance? But this is very much about a juggling. It's also my vote flipping card as well, but the challenge is I just really feel juggling. It's probably going to be, assuming the orange idiot isn't gone very quick. I think, I don't even know if he's going to make August, end of August. Middle of August is going to be horrific on him. Got Lion Gate coming up, which is huge for those of us that are spiritual, but he's got a solar eclipse in quite a dramatic part of his chart at the moment, is coming up on the 14th, I think it is. This is about juggling options, juggling. Thank you. Oh gosh, sometimes I'm a bit slow. Pentacles are the earth symbol in the deck. Swords are air, cups are water, wands are fire, pentacles are earth. So this is about the earth-based technologies. Again, there's all these new inventions that we're so used to that are pretty much, if I say materialistic based, external from ourselves that we use. Yeah, there's some juggling going on with this. Okay, just be aware. We've got the Ace of Cups, the energy it's stewing in at the moment. So was it a test run? Again, it's another yes card. Your future begins now. What's in the container? Love, joy, a premonition, a baby. Look inside and find out. Well, hopefully not a baby at nearly 60. But yeah, what's in the container? Love, joy, a premonition. Trust your instincts. And a thrilling new emotional experience. Absolutely. It's going to be, for those of us that are aware, now I really, really want to emphasize that those of us that are aware will not be taken by surprise. We might be annoyed, we might be, oh my goodness. We are not going to be surprised and we're not going to be caught on the hop. It's those that aren't aware that are going to have this emotional overboiling. But when it happens, we know that that is very much the last ditch effort, and we have to have encapsulated within ourselves what we want the future to look like. Joy, love, stay in joy, stay in love, a premonition, trust your instincts, and just really have your containers ready. Scroggin mix, I think they're called trail mix in other parts of the world, nuts and dried fruit and chocolate, high nutrient, non-spoilable products would probably be worthy. Okay, let's, where we go. In the past, we've got the moon. So secrets being revealed, but this could also indicate that this will happen shortly after the eclipse, which is the 14th. So the moon, what lurks beneath the surface, but it's also isn't Fleon having a rocket taking off on that day or something as well, that he wants to crash into the moon, or it's supposed to crash into the moon on that day or something ridiculous like that? Oh, please. Just absolutely insane. But yeah, this is in the past, so it's beyond this moment. The eclipse, the rocket into the moon, huge secrets being revealed. What have we got here? Crowning the reading. The energy over this was at a test run. We've got the Three of Wands. So this is about a plan coming to fruition, standing on the precipice. Where are we going and what are we going to do once we get there? This is very much the energy over it is this a plan that comes to fruition, and it's going to be a journey into the unknown. So we're going to be standing on the precipice. We can see this on the horizon, the options available, the future, and it will be a journey into the unknown. Okay, the immediate future, we've got this devil energy. Absolutely. So, I mean, this is the computer systems, this is the data hacking, um, yeah, the devil in the machine, pretty much. So the immediate future, something nefarious happening within the machine, within the grid. Let me just put it that way. Externally, we've got judgment, the last days, last ditch, judgment moment, huge collective wake up, getting people out of their slumber. When the power's not working and the water, I don't think it's water. I don't think it's water so much. It might be, but when the trains aren't running and the traffic lights aren't working and the TV channels don't work and blah 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 blah. There's going to be this huge wake up call as people roll out of bed, and then we've got the Five of Wands. Infighting, battling, the best laid plans coming awry. Okay. The Eight of Swords and the hopes and fears. Left for dead, blah, 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 exiled, okay, whatever. Hopefully, the hope and fears is that it is contained. That's my hope, that it is contained. The outcome, we've got temperance, finding a balance, the Hierophant, the higher authorities, world order, and the Eight of Pentacles, working hard behind the scenes to bring things back on. Balance, alchemy, trying to create something out of extra elements. I'm really drawn to the little picture of the extraterrestrial there, the universal being. And then the Hanged Man. Look at these mages to finish with. And then the High Priestess, secrets being revealed. So what have we got here? We've got alchemy, trying to create something out of nothing, but trying to restore balance by the higher authorities. Really drawn to the word, I know it's major arcana, but I'm drawn to the word major and major there. Because, yes, they've all got major arcana on them, but some of them are only really, really little writing. I'm drawn to major and major, which is a rank in the military. The Eight of Pentacles, working hard behind the scenes to bring something, to create something, to pretty much, I think, put it all back together again. The Hanged Man, whatever it was being stopped. The High Priestess, the secrets being revealed. This is the Seven of Wands card. I don't know what one I had before. Was it the Six of Wands or the Eight of Wands? Can't remember. Seven of Wands. Cornered and on the... Oh, no, I did have this one. Cornered and on the defensive. Somebody's going to be sprung and they're going to be on the back foot defensive in regards to this. Okay, King of Pentacles, oligarchs, the orange idiot himself, potentially, Leon, Fleon, the Five of Cups, regret, the Magician, manifestation of creation. Look over here while that's happening over there. distraction. The Lovers, Page of Swords, Three of Cups, and then the Eight of Wands, and then the Ten of Wands. Fire energy, Three of Cups, those on the inner circle. The Lovers, so this is the underlying energy. So this is the King of Pentacles. Disaster aboard the space cruiser. Creating a disaster, but I think they're going to come to regret it as the manipulation and those involved are outed with this Page of Swords. Changes in the air, the uprising, the Eight of Wands, fire energy coming really quickly, and then the Ten of Wands. Ending of a cycle, unable to get this to a completion. So yeah, I'm just going to say yes, yes, and yes, and yes. Yes, I get it was a test run. Yes, I get it's a false flag. It's an inside job, and oh gosh, I noticed all the fours I just saw then. And I just be prepared. Can't tell you when. I'll have a look at the felon himself in a minute, and with Shady, etc., and Camp David in a separate reading. So yeah. The distraction. So the Dr. Fauci thing was a big distraction because the other stuff that came out today was there is a court case that is on that that also happened in the last few days. The felon family took what was the company? Capital One, a bank, to court because Capital One closed down, I believe, about 300 of the felon family's bank accounts. And the Capital One have come and said, well, yes, we closed them down because here's the evidence of money laundering. So pretty much the felon family, so the felon organisation lawsuit, accused the bank of illegally debanking the company because of its woke beliefs and political discrimination, is the claim. However, in court filings on Friday, Capital One said it closed more than 300 of the felon-affiliated bank accounts for anti-money laundering reasons. So I might have a look at that as well. That's going to be really interesting. That's coming out as well. Okay, huge week. Huge week. The amount of support that came out for Dr. Fauci, he'll be fine, he'll be great. Poor Rand can go and stick it where the sun don't shine. Dr. Fauci's going to be fine. It was a distraction, and I'm not quite sure exactly what it's distracting from or whether it's just a distraction of a lot of stuff. Okay, I shall catch you shortly, and take care. Look after yourselves.